Hi everyone, I'm Miss Amy with the Norcross Library, and this is Junior Scientists. We will be conducting STEAM experiments every second and fourth Tuesday of each month. This will be a great way to learn STEAM-related facts while having fun learning how to conduct experiments at home. But remember to always ask your parents' permission before you do any of the experiments or projects. Now, let's get started. This week, we will be learning about water purification. Did you know that not all water is safe to drink? Let's say you're out in nature and you come across a beautiful natural water resource, such as a lake or a river. Do you think it's safe to just fill up a bottle with that water and drink it? I mean, it looks clean, but is it safe to drink? No. It is not safe to drink. Never drink water directly from a natural resource, even if it looks clean. Water in a stream or a lake may look clean, but it can still be filled with bacteria, viruses, and parasites that can result in waterborne diseases and make you sick. If you drink water from a natural resource, you need to make sure that you filter it first, which gets rid of all the debris and will leave you with clear water. And then you need to disinfect the water. And you can disinfect the water by bringing it to a rolling boil for at least 1 minute. The Department of Water Resources is responsible for providing Gwinnett County with its drinking water. Our water supply comes from Lake Lanier. This collected water is processed by a water filtration plant before entering the distribution system of underground piping and storage tanks, which then gets distributed to our homes and is safe to drink. For this experiment, we will be asking the question whether activated charcoal, or carbon as it is sometimes called, can remove red food coloring molecules from water. In order to answer this question, we need to conduct an experiment. The supplies needed for this experiment are 2 empty water bottles of any size, half a cup of water. You will need to put a 1/4 cup in each bottle, red food coloring, and 2 teaspoons of activated charcoal. For those students that are participating in the Hispanic Mentoring Priority, you have been supplied with these items, as well as with a water purifying experiment sheet that you will be filling out. For the rest of the viewers, feel free to make your own experiment sheet that includes a hypothesis, materials, procedure, observations, and a conclusion. To begin our experiment, you will need to fill each of your bottles with about a 1/4 cup of water. Just make sure you have about the same amount in each. Maybe a little bit. That's about good. Now we're going to add 1 drop of red food coloring, then we're going to tighten our, and just swirl it around just to mix up the food coloring. Now one of our bottles is going to be the control experiment group, and our other bottle is going to be our experimental group. So this one is going to be our control, which means that we're not going to do anything else to it other than add the food coloring, which we've already done. So our experiment bottle, we're going to add 2 teaspoons of activated charcoal. Now these are what activated charcoal looks like. This is not the powder, it's different. These are just the little particles that you can get at any store, even some pet supply stores. 2 teaspoons. So just go ahead carefully, put in 1 and 2. And then we are just going to leave that alone. And we're not going to do anything. We're going to put both of them side by side for 3 days. And you're going to observe your bottles every day and keep track of it and see what changes are happening, if any. Let's talk a little bit about activated charcoal. It is made by heating carbon-rich materials such as wood, peat, coconut shells, or sawdust to very high temperatures. The surface of this charcoal is not smooth. It is very porous. The charcoal's porous texture has a negative electrical charge, which causes it to attract positively charged molecules, such as toxins and gases. And this process is called adsorption. Adsorption is different from absorption. And I know they sound very similar, but there is a difference. Sponges and paper towels absorb. That means that the substance is sucked into it, whereas activated charcoal and gel adsorb, meaning that the substances adhere or get stuck to the surface. And in case of charcoal, they adhere to the millions of pores that are surrounding it. After a while, however, all these pores will be filled with contaminants, and at that point, you will need to replace your activated charcoal. This is the case with water filters that are in refrigerators, in some water pitchers that have a filtration system, along with many other items that use activated charcoal in their filtration system. Getting back to our experiment, you will need to observe your bottles for 3 days and keep track of the changes, if any, that you see. By the end of the 3rd day, you should be able to answer the question that we posed at the beginning of this experiment. Will activated charcoal remove the red food coloring molecules from the water? Don't forget to use your experiment sheet to help you keep track of your observations and to come up with your final conclusion. I hope you enjoyed our experiment this week and you learned a little more about purifying water with activated charcoal. Try this experiment using other substances and see if you get the same outcome. Remember, science is not only educational, it's fun too. See you next time.